well, Gunner, right? Like we talked about it a little bit, but they do go back into the Enigma, and we see Entity go back into the Tiny. So Zai and Kataomi have played the same heroes this entire series, and you know, they've managed to trade blows. So we'll see who does get the better win percentage out of this one.
Yeah, and it's also the one thing that you have to make sure when you play the same hero is like mentally resetting. Because you play very stressful games, you're like, and the game ends, you're mentally thinking like, I'm level 16, I have these items, and then you go back level 1. You have nothing, you're slow, no spells. Just starting from the bottom.
So yeah, it does turn out. Both these teams hanging around the mid lanes for now. Standard stuff. A level 1 team fight could break out. You kind of mentioned it last game, but you've got the Pudge available, and that's always a painful kind of hero to have to go up against level 1.
Yeah, we saw last game, Matu got the first blood, or he helped secure the first blood, and Entity is another team that has been playing carry Pudge for a really long time, so it's kind of their flavor. And last game it didn't work out. I think this game it has some better matchups than it did last game. Not as much damage, but again, Lifesteal is known to be tanky or good versus tanky strength heroes.
Entity, they are going to move in, bully them out from the bottom side. It is going to be a 3-for-1 trade the way of Entity, so they'll be very happy with that Banner Rune start. Nice little bonus for them to get started. Of course, we'll look back into the mid lane straight off the bat, see how this one goes. So we are going to have the Ember. Of course, Mike going to be up against the Puck of Entity. How does this matchup work out?
It's okay for the Puck if he can do really well in the first 3 levels specifically, but at some point, whenever it hits level 3-4, that's when it gets very hard. Puck has no armor, the Sleight of Fist spam just pushes him out of the lane very easily, and he can't really pop Flame Guard without overcommitting onto you.
Yeah, it does feel like the early timings of an Ember just feel a lot better as well. I think just going for an early Orb of Corrosion, even just the Blightstone into Phase Boots can feel really nice, and the Puck just doesn't sustain through that all too well.
Yeah, Puck, the mana nerfs and the small cap removal hurt a lot, that you can't just spam the orb every time you have it. You have to think about when you use it. And now that you also have to use all your mana, you don't really want to get Waning Grip, so you can't break the shield, and then if you can't break the shield, you can't man up, so now you need Phase Shift, and it's just a lot of things that have hurt the matchup over time.
Bot lane, Insania dropping rather low, but does find the Courier of Toby, because you're going to have the Tumberman against Toby on that Broodmother, and Kataomi will be there to support that Brood. What are we thinking about this lane? Like, for now, Matumba's been doing a decent job of bullying Toby out. Is there a stage where Toby starts to kind of throw back the other way?
Probably not until level 6, and even then, it's not the greatest. I think right now, Matu's just going to completely free farm, and Toby is going to get maybe similar, but not the same. It's a lot of just slightly in the favor of Liquid. They're going to be completely fine, and Entity's the one who are going to try to make moves to make, get the creeps themselves.
Fishman being chased down, Boxy hoping for a bash, not going to get it. There's no lucky bashes coming out from Boxy here. Kido, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. On mid lane, Mickey going to go for a bit of a chase onto Storm, but they're just fighting. This timing here, this 2-minute water rune timing, and it's like they should be able to find 1 each anyway, not too big of a deal.
Yeah, it's still feeling really good for Miko on that middle. You can see that CS disparity already. 13-1, 10-1 for Stormer. Not too far behind, but once some initial items come in, at least the Blightstone, I think you're going to have a good time with a Sleight of Fist spam. Stormer. He does have good support to come in mid if they see that opportunity, but if they do want to go for that, they have to go before Mika hits 6. Once the Ember has the Remnants, I think getting a gank onto him, it's going to require the Dream Coil, and you're going to have to coordinate onto that one really fast.
Yeah, again, as you said, one of the big things with Puck that makes you feel good about your Puck game or bad is whether you can kill them when you coil them. And again, that's why one reason that Ember's very good versus Puck is because Flame Guard kind of prevents all of this magic damage early, and it makes it so he survives the coil and then you have nothing versus him. So the fact that they have Tiny who can break the coil with Toss, they have a Jakiro with a lot of nukes, that if they can group these hero up and kill the Ember during the coil, then the matchup will be fine.
Still 0-0, not first blood being drawn yet. And it's in, a lot of damage being dealt here by Matumba and Insania as they go onto Kataomi, but it's not going to be quite enough. Matumba just happy to keep dominating the lane, not too interested in securing first blood as top lane. Maybe that's where we see it. Zai is chased down, but the bash is there from Boxy. Another one, all right. Can we get a third? Charges out, let's keep going. Boxy getting very, very lucky there.
I think if there's any lane with pressure, it's going to be in this one. Either side. Probably Entity, maybe once Pudge gets point and hook, maybe at 3 or 4 whenever he decides to choose that. Because The other 2 lanes are probably just going to be slow wins over time. It's not going to be really kills. It's going to be you chip them down, you get the extra last hits. That's what's happening mid, that's what's happening bot. But top is where both lanes have the ability to kill.
Yeah, they've got a lot of damage, a lot of slows on hand coming out from Entity. Good amount of stuns from Liquid if they got lucky. We saw Boxy kind of hunting for that stun for a very long time. Very disruptive right now on that Spirit Breaker.
I won't find it this time. Boxy trying to be very, very cheeky on this Spirit Breaker, but not so lucky. Pure join in there with Fishman trying to get this pull off. Denied at least from Zai. Malphus will be there. They've got the Eidolon. It's going to be a fair bit of damage. Boxy going to move in. There's a charge out. Pure. Is he going to get bashed here? Not quite. It looks like instead onto Fishman. There's your bash out. Boxy still getting very lucky. Fishman trying to run. Fishman surely has no way out though. He's just trapped between a rock and a hard place as Boxy. He'll keep going with Zai. One more would do it. There's your Malphus. Fishman, he will hand over first blood. Zai able to pick it up as now Pure. Oh, Pure. He's been caught out by Boxy. Can we get lucky? Maybe one more. He doesn't get it yet. Pure, he's going to try to run. Boxy not getting lucky. 17% is what he needs right now as Pure still running, not getting lucky, but the Malphus will do the job.
Oh my God.
2 kills out for Zai as in comes Fishman once again. Boxy, this time he'll back up.
No crowd favorite bashes to secure the kills. Getting them nonetheless.
They've just got to shout bash louder. That's all they need.
Yeah, just need louder yells. And Boxy, he's being impactful again. We saw this in game 2 where he gets really aggressive. It's not the same sort of aggression as we were seeing out from his Tusk. Much more focused up top. But they have made this lane pretty hard for Pure to just sit back and farm. He's going to take a little bit more time to get going as they go on to mid a bit. Boxy does play it safe.
No man on the puck. He has to go base. This is where it starts to feel bad. Mickey's level 6. He's going to start pressuring the tower, and having to walk back to base is mid. This late means you're probably going to miss the 6-minute rune. You're not going to have TPs to, you know, counter gank in the side lanes if there's any rotation. So he's going to kind of lock his game up for the next couple minutes or so.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough for Stormer to kind of contribute to the sides if he does decide to head mid, and he will. Already have the supports here to kind of help out.
It almost breaks out there. Fishman not able to land the nicest ice path. Stormer unable to find the regen room, and as Mickey was able to take it on the Ember. Stay ward out as well from Liquid as they are very grouped up in the mid lane. Just kind of wonder what they can do against the puck. They'll force out a phase shift, but it seems like they're going to have to leave Stormer be. So maybe Boxy can rotate down bot. No, in fact, he's going back up top. See what he can get done here as Matumba. He's the one in danger right now. Toby will go for a chase, but a nice rage up. Matumba going to juke out the avalanches. Now Insania does come in, but top lane, Charge was there, Pure. He goes for the hook instead. Boxy needs to run and will be able to do so as Zai will have his back.
Yeah, this bot lane, again, it's very kind of calm lane. They're both hitting each other a little, getting low, chip, but we haven't really talked about the Brood that much. And the Brood feels a similar fashion to what they were trying to do with the Naga in the first game, where he's just going to buy a lot of aura items. He's probably going to go for a Wraith Pack, into a Pipe. They don't really play this, you know, the old school, Orchid, Diffusal, BKB. They play as this really tanky hero who just absorbs the map and just pushes you away. So it's going to be more of a, he's playing to just make the map very dark for Liquid. There's no more vision, no more creeps, and it's going to give space for Entity to kind of use this Pudge to farm his Ags, the Puck to kind of catch the picks on the side lanes, and mostly just a kind of a tool rather than like their
charge out
to win the game.
Pure. He targeted. Zai is around. They've got the Midnight Pulse going with the Malphus. There's one bash out. Pure needs to run with the Black Hole. It's going to be cancelled. There was an avalanche there from Kataomi. Still Mickey. He's still going to go for the chase. Dream call out now as well. Stormer, the toss out. They break the coil. Can they hold down the Ember? Boxy's back in. He's manning up. Pure's gone. Mickey, can he truly survive this? Fishman's the one dropping low. Mickey's still alive somehow. Kataomi now. He's the one in danger. A double kill out for Zai and a third kill for the side of Liquid as they're going for more. Liquid are not done yet. They want Stormer, and Boxy's gonna find him. They'll find a fourth.
Oh man, the output right now coming out from Mike. Blades of Attack, not even a full phase boots with the Orb of Corrosion. It's enough to dig in, and they get some pretty good bashes. They shared the damage really well as well, coming out there from Liquid, just diving nicely and just ensuring they've got enough in the tank to power through.
Visions of what happened last game. One team goes to the enemy safe lane, they kind of wrap around the tower, they force a play, and you feel strong, you feel like you want to defend, but you just get wiped there. And now the map is so much in the favor of Liquid that if this Brood can't really kick the Lifesteal out of the lane and take the tower soon, where's their map going to be?
Yeah, and it feels like that the timing of that Brood is just contingent on shutting down the map early on in the bot lane, you know, and just preventing the Lifestealer from trying to get that build up, equalize, provide some space for the Pudge. Isn't quite shaping up yet here from Tobial. He has been left alone to push in a bit, but it does feel like, as you mentioned, Gunnar, Liquid has found enough to kind of compensate for that possibility.
We do see the support duo of Entity kind of walk towards bot. It looks like they're going to try to force the tower now that Matu's left the lane.
Oxy, bot lane, Avalanche will be there. They'll try and secure at least the Spirit Breaker kill. They'll go for a bit of a run, but it's not going to be enough. Entity able to pick up something. It's now Matumba going to be spotted here by Storm in the Invis rune. Will show himself eventually, just trying to steal away the creep as the Hurricane is going to push back Matumba, but he's going to be okay.
What a creep.
Bias creep.
It's so scary. Every time you get pushed, I think it only does it when an enemy hero is near you.
Uh-oh,
you can always tell.
Mid lane, he's a big target. Charger's going to be there. They've got the Dismember onto the Ember of Pure. He's in such big danger. They'll toss up, try to get him out.
Oh.
Maybe he does make it. The Ice Path locking down a couple. Insania will drop as well. Here comes Boxy though. Onto Pure. Bashes out as well. He'll get lucky. Can he do it again? Pure. It won't be enough. Zai will get him. But Zai's going to drop as well. 3 for 2. Traders Kataomi. The toss is up. Boxy, he's got some vision on that high ground. But can he get a charge? It's on cooldown for now. He's going to go for it. He barely gets it off. Kataomi is going to get dived underneath the tier 2 tower. They'll find another.
Somehow Zai finds that from the grave as well. Stealing away Boxy's little pick off. Very patient there, dancing around. It does feel like you find what you want there on Entity though. You save Pure out, you manage to punish. Just a great... The Dream Coil and the toss back doesn't quite break this time, but it groups them up for that big move in from Jakiro.
Starts to look really scary. Pure lives with less than 100 health. You would think he goes down here, but the Flesh Sheath, also with the heal from the Dismember, the coil makes it so Ember can't slide a fist to do this little extra bit of damage. I thought Matu was also dead there. It looks really scary for Liquid that everything would just go downhill.
Certainly did, like Pure barely going down into Boxy's. Boxy just kept the chase going, and eventually with the Eidolons they had just enough. Such a long, drawn-out team fight. Looked like Entity were going to win out that team fight for a moment, but Boxy, he just diving the tier 2 tower as well. Just no fear in the world. You can see the smiles on the side of Liquid. I mean, they're still happy with the way the state of this game is going. And would you agree that Entity, like you talked about it earlier, the Broodmother's not having the impact you'd hope for so far?
I think the laning stage is honestly okay because of how early picked the Brood was. And you can see that he just walked over. There's a nice line of webs leading from bot to mid. He goes mid, he kills Zai. So now this bottom half of the map is kind of his. He's doing his job right now. He has the cloak, he has arcane boots. He's probably going to go, I would assume, for a Wraith Pact relatively early. Or maybe even just the Pipe Rush. And he's doing everything he needs to. And there's no one to contest him besides Mickey. And Mickey, he's the strongest hero. He doesn't want to go down there and deal with him. He wants to run at heroes like right now.
They're under Boxy, the Spirit Breaker, toss up, they should have it, but here comes Mickey. That's a lot of damage with the Sleight of Fist, but nowhere near enough to keep the fight going. He was all alone. The Entity will pick up a very nice pick off for themselves and continue defending that mid tier 1 tower. So Mickey will stick around, but he doesn't really have so much backup at the moment. Pure is going to run into Matumba, carry matchup. They are all alone as well. Nobody had to help out as Mickey, mid lane, going to get tossed back, but the coil's not going to break, but the Ice Path going to lock him down, but now the Black Hole! Zai, he found 2 of them and should have enough damage, though Pure, he's going to try to man up, but eventually will drop to Matumba.
That combination came out. They managed to punish Mickey really well. They had to use the smoke behind their tier 1 on the right side for it. But then the punishment from Liquid, like that black hole in the freezing field, barely enough to kill off Pure, but that does kind of make it feel a little bit more even.
I mean, even at the same time, the tier 2 bot goes down. The tier 2's really big. Now he gets outpost. Now he gets the entire side of the map. Now he's pressuring your base. You feel it kind of creeping in. And Toby's doing everything he needs to right now for Entity. The map is just going to get smaller and smaller. And while Liquid don't really need a large map, they need something to get their items. Mickey chose to go BKB first item. He's still really far away. And before that...
Stormer. Bit of danger here. Fishman trying to slow them down with an ice path. The charge is still going to give the vision, but in comes Kataomi to try and break them off the Stormstormer. In comes Boxy. Phase shift's going to save the day for now. Not going to be able to get that charge off. Instead, now they turn back around onto the Spirit Breaker. Boxy, he will drop. Stormstormer will punish. They keep chipping away at Fishman with this sleight of fist, but it won't matter in the end. It seems like Mike is going to have to give up. But in the meantime, Pure, he'll go for a Dismember. Matumba, he wants to keep going. There's going to be a TP away. Nothing to cancel. The Ice Path. It looks like the Pudge is going to be just fine as now the Ember is in trouble. Fishman setting up perfectly with Stormstormer. They'll find Mickey.
Like we said, if you have to be happy with Puck, you have to kill them in the coil. Every time the Ember gets coiled, he goes down. It's so hard for him to survive. The Brood walks over multiple times. The Pudge will keep showing up. They just keep grouping multiple cores on every coil. It's never just Puck with maybe one support. It's always 2 cores, always 4 heroes together, always getting the kills on Mika.
Yeah, the coordination coming out from Entity's been spot on. They've just been able to play off the back of all these combinations well.
They're going to try mid lane. Domi setting up the Insania with a great ice path from Fishman. Land on 2. Still seems like Liquid want to try and force this fight, but can they really get it done? They're going to try and break the gap. Mickey, he'll remnant in. Chain's not going to land on anyone. Toby, he'll turn around onto Matumba. Happy to fight this one out. Look at just the slower Matumba, man. He's not even moving right now. Onto Kataomi, but the ice path again from Fishman. Going to lock 2 of them down. So hard to catch up when you constantly get locked out by this ice path. And eventually they will be forced to retreat.
It's also just a level 2 ice path. The game, their amount of slows on Entity, the Kite, they have a lot. Every hero has a slow, stun, or silence. And it's just so hard for Liquid to keep walking into the fights very slowly. They probably need to get this BKB on Ember online. This Lysair needs this Deso so that when he gets the jumps, the hero just dies instantly. They don't have to chase. And even Zai, he just probably needs a blink so he's actually able to get in there in the fight.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get that build up. They are going in that exact order as well in the items, of course, but it doesn't feel like Entity's giving them room. We talked about that bot a little bit. Toby's just camping there the entire time. You're not able to farm there as Matu. Mike, again, is eating up the mid, eating up the triangle where he can, trying to go towards that BKB. And it's still a rather even game, 11-10, but it just feels like Entity's management of the map just feels so much more suppressive in comparison to Liquid.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, I think the gold's not crazy right now for Entity. I think right now the game feels so much more in Entity's favor than the gold is actually showing. It's only a part of the story. It's a lot about how much the map feels really small for Liquid and really big for Entity. They kind of can walk wherever they want, and they'll get a kill, they'll get a tower, they'll get anything. And Liquid is just constantly feeling pressure to walk away.
Mid-tier 1 tower now under siege. Entity, well, there'll be a charge out from Boxy trying to clear out the Spiderlings. They do a decent job of it, but Stormstormer just continues onto the tier 1 and seems like there's going to be no protecting it for Liquid. Entity taking even more of the map now.
Just doesn't take them too long once they commit. Again, with all the control they have on the map, Liquid's counterplay just feels really limited, and they're not really done yet. I mean, they've got the smoke up from Kataomi, does fade now, but you can see they're just feeling so confident. The posture in that bot jungle to cut off the side of Liquid and just make it hellish for those catch-up items to come in. Like, we are still 1.2k away from Mika having a BKB. That's such a long time considering he's the one that feels like he needs to be starting to play around here.
It's also very first item. No Maelstrom, his damage is going to be low. Spearbreaker doesn't really provide much damage, only stuns CM's a very low level, so even once he gets the BKB, it's who does he really play with? Is it always Matu and then now you're asking your mid and carry to always be in every fight together? Then who's going to scale?
Top lane, Zai. He spotted Stormstormer in the smoke, looking to see if he can pick up this Enigma. Kataomi is going to be there. Avalanche and Toss to set up into the ice path, but they actually end up missing. It shouldn't matter though. Eventually they should find Zai, though a TP away. Surely he doesn't make it. They're forced to Dreamcore to make sure they get the kill. There is going to be a pause out from Toby, so they're having a few sound issues, but Zai almost making it out there had they not committed the coil.
That was a really nice TP.
Yeah.
Even standing in the macro pyre, it shows how strong Wraithpact is right now. All the damage reduction it provides. Versus all these nukers, it kind of just shuts them down early game.
And, you know, just getting that coil out provides you that window to maybe look for a play out. Maybe Mika starts to feel a little bit better without the BKB, punt down some of the softer support. So Liquid could kind of play off the back foot. It's not that much time, to be fair. A very limited window to kind of get that done. But you can kind of rest easy knowing that it's going to be a little bit of time until Storm is going to be able to join in for the bigger fights again.
On the side of Entity, all their timings are lining up. Ag's finished on the Pudge. Blink finished on the Puck. Pipe is also finished on the Brood, going for that Vlad's into probably Wraith back soon. So they're really tanky now. They have their initiation from Puck. They have all the damage from Pudge. This is their timing. They're going to look for maybe just running around the map, running directly at heroes, killing heroes, and just having no fear on the map.
Speaking of, they are going to find Insania. Foxy going to try and charge in the ulti out as well. Insania! He is not going down. Hawk, though, is going to find him. Oh, but the Infest! Matumba trying to save the day. It's not going to be enough. Pure, he'll keep going. Matumba between a rock and a hard place now, but does get away. Zai, he'll show up. The Fear of God with that black hole available. They don't want to fight into it. They're going to back off. It'll be a 1-4 on the position 5s. Entity, it seems like they're happy with that.
Yeah, you really have to appreciate just how confident we were seeing Liquid in some of these plays, just standing their ground, knowing they've got that opportunity, knowing that the stuns aren't there, and just getting the full dance off with a freezing field. Not the biggest kill in the world, but it does feel nice.
Oh, nice coil. He finds him in the tree line, but can they get the damage off? It seems like the Ember, Thunder drop low, Avalanche toss out, they've got enough. Mickey is gonna drop. Stormer does pick up the kill, now unstoppable on the puck, and now a hook out from Pure. Mid-charge up into the top lane. Foxy's gonna try and TP away, but he's not gonna make it. More strength away of the punch. That's a beautiful hook.
Everyone just commending their boy. And it's looking scary for Liquid. The BKB is slowing down again and again, and they're just not really getting the connections
Radiant's
they need.
middle tower
Even on
is
mid,
under attack.
it was, thankfully for them, Coil was still cooldown for 20 seconds, or Matu also goes down there.
Yeah, I think the one thing we're seeing different from that game 1 combo of the Spirit Breaker and Lifestealer is that we're not seeing them be aggressive, right? Like they're much more satisfied with Matu having to build up. He does have the full Deso up, going for the Shard next, so not too different from that game's item progression. It's just they're not able to play around it, and without that tool, just relying solely on Mika, it just doesn't feel like the Ember does enough. Like, as you mentioned, no damage with its kind of build-up. We're rushing the BKB. BKB not even up yet. Entity has such a massive power spike in comparison.
Yeah, they're 5,000 gold now, and all Liquid needs is the BKB and maybe an Infest kill, and they can maybe change the fight. You know, maybe they get 1 kill, maybe they kill the Puck instantly, and that's it. But Entity, they don't really have a... They don't have a, you know, they don't have a rule set, they don't have a bulletin that they need to follow the bullet points, like do this, do this, do this, and we'll win the fight. They just kind of can walk at Liquid, I think, and click their buttons and they'll win the fight.
There's an Infest out for Boxy. They are smoked up. They're ready to try and force a fight with the Desolator up now on the Lifestealer. They want to try and get this timing going. They'll see Fishman. It's just the Jakiro, but they'll take what they can get. That'll be the Desolator reveal from Matumba. They would have probably liked a bit more of a team fight, but they won't be able to find anything. So you do have another timing now. Blink and BKB up on Mickey and Zai.
Yeah, and again, this game there's no black hole cancel through BKB. So once Zai gets towards his BKB timing, it'll be a lot better. But even now, it's really hard to black hole. Every single hero can cancel besides the Broodmother, so has to just be very careful at what his choices are in the fight. And at least now Mickey can kind of cause disruption in the fight and not to worry about his life too much.
So kind of have a little bit more impact coming out. Do find it interesting. He is going for a little bit just more durability. Sanj and Kaya coming out next. And maybe a little bit more damage, but really just the stat resist, not being caught out for too long and just zipping around the back line is going to be feeling great. We're at the point in the game, 21.5 minutes in, where you are pretty geared up now on the Broodmother as well. Full pipe, the Wraith pack of Entity not too far off, and they're going for a smoke play here.
They are. For that Radiant jungle, who do they find? Maybe in the mid lane. You see one. Oh, that's a big one. Mickey, nice juke away. Not going to get caught by the Avalanche. Instead, it seems like they want to head north. Liquid now, they'll smoke up as well. In that dire jungle, they've got that high ground advantage. Just Kataomi is going to get caught out. Infest was there by Matumba. They should find one with the Dream Coil and the toss back. They've got 2 locked down with the Ice Path. Matumba, he's still going to try and go for the fight. Fishman is going to get shredded here. And now the black hole! Sai! He'll find 2 of them. There's no hopping coming either. Perfect setup from the Enigma. But where's the damage? Stormer Stormstormer still running away. Mickey unable to finish the job as this Puck still managed to somehow survive.
Now can Lupe get out? Doesn't look like there's going to be a chase from Entity, but it looks so good. He black hold on the orb, he catches the Pudge and the Puck, but there's just no follow-up, no damage.
Just instant blink out, man. That's going to be a consistent issue for both sides, it feels like, because on the one hand, Entity can't really lock in Mika while he has that BKB, but you also kind of lack that catch for Stormer once he's able to kind of blink around. So both sides kind of have to try to find a way to neutralize each other's highly mobile mids, and Liquid, as you mentioned, they got a really good black hole, but the follow-through just doesn't feel like it's there. Maybe back to that itemization with a BKB, without the Maelstrom, without that lightning procs, it just doesn't feel like you hit hard enough in that window.
Yeah, a lot of his job right now is to just play with the Lifestealer, and so unfortunately for them, I don't think Matu was able to hit in the black hole. So the BKB for Mickey is mostly just because his team needs a frontliner, and the Lifestealer can, but he's always infested. So you need a secondary frontliner to just start the fight, give you vision, so that Spearbreaker can charge while infested, then, you know...
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Kataomi, he's going to get caught out. Hook away. Pure is not going to be able to save the Tiny. Now Pure, he's in danger. Matumba right onto the punch. They've got the Pulse one in control. Matumba, can he keep going? They do at least find Box in the Spearbreaker, but Matumba, he just keeps going for more. Toby being chased down, charges out. They've got Fishman. It's looking good for Liquid as they do chase down Stormstormer. Toby still trying to juke. Somehow Insania going to make it out with his life intact, and now Foxy, he's back in on Toby. The Spider in big trouble. Liquid, they want to keep going, but it's just so hard to lock this man down. In comes Mickey. They've got the chains out. They've got the Brood Mother, and they've basically got themselves a team wipe. The only survivor is the Puck on Stormstormer. That's about it. 4 down for the side of Entity.
It's a big difference this time around. Liquid managed to group up a lot better, and Entity are much closer together as well. This is them winning out the fight very cleanly without the black hole. And you still have issues catching out Stormer, but once that Lifestealer's on the Pudge without anything else to save, it's a very simple matchup for Matu.
I think, win or lose, I think Stormstormer is going to end this game with one death, maybe 2 deaths. I think he's always going to be the survivor. He's going to have some crazy KD, but Matu, he can't be stopped by the Puck. He can't be stopped by the Pudge. Everything, even the Brute doesn't really do much to him. You saw him, he just latched onto the Pudge. They had 1 stun to cancel the Dismember, and then he just stood there, and they had nothing to deal with him.
It's difficult for Entity, and I think for Liquid, I mean, that must be a great feeling. They lost out a little bit in that fight on the Dire side jungle. They take one without Black Hole. They're going to have Black Hole off in a few seconds as well. So they're free to kind of re-engage now. And you do have the Kaya up on Mika. So feeling a little bit more damage coming out from Flame Guard, although Foxy.
Fishman, you get caught out. Foxy and Toby going to try and move in, but the Nether Strike not going to land on the target he wanted. They'll secure the Jakiro. Entity, they are hanging around. It seems like they want to try and force something, but it's a bit of a rough one. Oh, with a nice Dream Coil, though, Stormstormer setting up an release Insania. They've got the BKB up on the Ember, however, as Boxy right in. Kataomi, he's the big target. Matumba, he'll rush through on that Lifestealer. They'll find the Tiny. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Liquid.
One of the cool things is both teams have a Wraith Pact. It's a good item. But for the side of Liquid, they don't have the greatest Wraith Pact hitters. If you're going to ask Lifestealer to do it, you're asking him to use his Rage just to kill the Wraith Pact. But on the side of Entity, all the Spiders will kill it just in 1 volley of attacks. So
you are gonna move in. He's found the Ember, but the Malefice not gonna allow the Dismember to keep going. Hook is not gonna be long enough. Whew. Would have felt the wind on the backside with that hook, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's a close one. And going back to that point of the Wraith Packs, it does feel a little bit harder for Liquid to kind of focus in on it, but I guess it kind of neutralizes when you both have just running, so both of you kind of get the same EHD coming out. The one thing I'm curious about here, Gunnar, is that when you're Ember up against Brood without the Maelstrom, is it annoying to have to bounce around all these Sparklings? Because it feels like Mika is losing a little bit of impact just having to jump around so many creeps.
The nice thing is he got the Flame Guard talent at 15. So with the Kaya Sanch, he actually does 120 damage with Flame Guard. So even if you're just jumping around, you're still dealing a lot of damage. You're making it so you can't be jumped either. So you don't always need to have the BKB that early if you get a Sleight of Fist off. It's just a lot of invulnerability. So it's a give and take. You don't do as much physical damage, but you exist longer. You get to get more spells off. You do a lot of magic damage, so it's not the worst, but it's, you know, there's more impact he could have if there wasn't a brood and he had more damage.
Such a close game, number 3. I mean, it's a 3k advantage to Entity, but it still feels like anyone's game right now. Smuggling's getting so much vision for the side of Entity at the moment. You see Matumba, top of the net worth board on that lifesteal, and they just haven't found a way of dealing with him throughout this game. And there's going to be another big smoke up. They've got the black hole. They've pretty much got every spell available. Infest immediately out onto Boxy. Entity, they've got to be so careful as Roshan is going to get started. They really want the fight in the Roshan pit with the black hole. It just feels like such a big advantage for Liquid. But in goes the puck. Stormstormer just in the phase shift, trying to just get some information for his team as Liquid. They'll keep going. Continues to poke and prod at Liquid.
Yeah, and the BKB's now finished for Matu, so 15 seconds of BKB in these fights.
He's in. Kataomi, he tries as well. They're trying to lock down Stormstormer. They'll find Insania on the CM. Meanwhile, Zai has been caught out. Dreamcore will lock him down. Toby, he can't get close. He's still ticking away. Zai somehow still alive. The orb, it's going to fly through Toby. He'll be able to get the kill. Secure it with the swarm. There's now Matumba being chased down. Stormstormer, has he gone too far in the puck, however? Liquid still trying to kite in and out. Pure, he's happy to oblige, though. He goes right back in, but he's not within range for a hook.
Centaur stomp on Toby, trying to help out Liquid. Thankfully for them, they didn't pop the Mickey BKB. He still has his 8 second, oh, it's only 6 seconds BKB now, but can they even contest this Roche now? They don't have the Zai Enigma. Matu doesn't really want to just walk in by himself, and it looks like they're just going to give up the Aegis.
I mean, Mickey could try. He might just. Roshan going to go down. Pure, he's got the Aegis. Attempt as Boxy a little bit too close, will try to charge away. 4 staff there as well. Looks like he might just be fine. But Aegis does go the way of Entity. Pure now with a double life. The game gets so much harder for the side of Liquid.
That was a cool force. It was by the Tiny. It was to cancel the charge. So it was a nice idea, but just pushes him just past the high ground. And yeah, now Pure has 2 lives. Matu, he's gonna spend a long time. He does a lot of damage, but punches a lot of health. So he's gonna have to use maybe his entire BKB and rage duration. And now when he respawns, he's not gonna have BKB. Maybe his rage is on cooldown. And can you really still fight him after that?
Dream Coil is there. Mickey, he'll be the one to get caught. Pure, that's a nice hook out. He breaks the coil on the Ember, but now Zai, he'll at least find the trade. That'll be Stormstormer down on 1-1 on both mid laners. Entity still looking to go in. Pure, he'll just jump right in, but Matumba, he's got the BKB usage. It's still Pure. So tanky as the hook is not going to land this time. Who wants to keep going, though? It seems like both sides might need a reset. They are both going to back up.
That's huge to find on Stormstormer. A massive kill streak on him. So he does gain another death. You know, not going to say it 1 death here, still within a very low amount. But that feels really beneficial for Liquid. Sure, you lose Mika. It's not the best feeling in the world, but that's still a huge gold swing that just helps everyone else on their case. And it did cost them Black Hole here, though.
Already infested on the Spear Breaker. Oh, gonna try to counter it?
They're going to try. Charge is there, but Avalanche is out.
They'll walk away.
They will get away.
Yeah, all Zai's kind of job, I think, right now, all he's thinking is wait very, very far back, wait for Puck to jump your back line, quote unquote, which is like the Crystal Maiden, and then black hole the Puck and just kill the Puck. That's all he needs to do. I think asking for a black hole and even more than that is not even necessary. If the Puck goes down, then a lot of more free reign for Mickey, a lot of free reign for Matu, because being silenced without pressing raid is really scary. So the Puck is a lot of the big issues right now.
Yeah, and just taking care of that problem just feels like Liquid will have a lot to play with after the fact. 24-21, still a 4K lead for Entity, but with Matu at the top, does feel like this lifestealer is starting to really shape up. Basher at the ready now for Matu, so he can kind of get a little bit more control for his team out. Going for the AC next, gonna be hitting pretty nice and hard here with the Deso on top. And then for Entity, I mean, we're at this point now, 31 minutes in, you know, after invading the bot jungle with Toby, after getting this Ags and BKB timing on Pure. As we scale towards a more mid to late game timing, do you start to feel like Liquid kind of picks up the pace here, or do you think Entity can kind of keep track with that scaling?
I think Liquid, their draft-wise, is going to keep up the pace. I think Mickey's game is not, you know, amazing, so he's not some crazy Ember going to mid-late game. And a lot of it's going to be on
Boxy, BKB's there, but Dismember's gonna hold him down. Boxy's still gonna nether strike and is gonna run his way out. Even the drum charger's trying to help him as now Malphus, Toby, he'll get stunned up. Liquid, they don't want the fight. Or do they? Entity, they're the ones that'll keep going, but Tumba is gonna be spotted out. Seems like they just want to prep for this tier 2 mid tower defense.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Dangerous
attack.
position now for Liquid, and I'd hate to make it worse for them, but there is a double damage rune sitting up top just waiting for the side of Entity. Storm will go ahead and pick that one up.
Thankfully, it's no really good DD carriers on Entity. It's a lot of spells and kiting and some damage, but a lot of it's just these spells, so it's not the worst. There could be worse DDs, like if Matu got it this game for Entity, but... So yeah, I think it's all on Matu right now. Liquid is, all their hopes and dreams of this game are on Matu. Everyone else has their jobs, their roles, they're gonna have very big impact, but it's pretty much on him whether he can just kill everyone one by one or not.
A lot of damage on Boxy. Coil, high five up. Boxy cannot escape. Stormer. Finds a single pick off down to the bot lane, and with that one down, I mean, he does have buyback available, but you might want to try and force it by forcing in that tier 2 mid tower.
I think they'd probably rather give up the tower than force buyback. He's already trying to get his Shadow Blade, which I think is a really big item. It lets him actually catch the puck with these charges across the map and burst him. And if you ask him to buyback and you don't get probably 3 or more kills, it's gonna just feel bad for the game.
Matumba, he's a big target. Malphus will cancel still. The hook is there. Matumba forced to rage up and try to run. Be able to lock him down long enough. He will back his way out. That mid tier 2 tower, like you said, they are kind of forced to just give it up. They don't want to commit that buyback on Boxy. So Entity, one step closer to winning out this best of 3 series against Liquid, just controlling so much of the map. And now their net worth lead, you'd imagine, does start to escalate a bit faster.
Yeah, it does. And again, this next Roche, Aegis just expires now, so now waiting this next 3 minutes for it to start spawning, that's the big one. That's what everyone's looking at. And Liquid have the tools to fight it. They have the BKB on Enigma, and again, as we said earlier, there's not really cancels, but Entity, they just keep hitting their big timing Octarine on the puck.
Okay. That's Remnant out. Matumba, he's gonna find Pure. This is a +1 punch. Dismember is there with the black hole. Zai, he will have none of it, and Pure's gone. They get caught with their pants down. Liquid, is this the opening? Coil is down, they'll hold down the naix. The life stealer tossed away. Matumba, he's locked down. No BKB available, though he does get it off, but it's not gonna matter. He is gonna drop. They do trade 1-for-1 on the position ones. Stormer wants to keep going. After Zai, he does, but Boxy is there with a charge, trying to slow them down, but Zai is gone now. No buybacks as the Hawk. Insania. He will be the third to go. Entity onto the tier 3 towers, and they don't have the buybacks on Liquid.
Yeah, they don't have the buybacks. Even if they did, Zai not going to have the black hole for the defense, so it's going to be basically all down to the combinations with Boxy, Matu, and Mike. And they are not the fastest pushers in the world here on Entity. Boxy trying to stall.
Can they cancel? Avalanche? Oh, it's not going to make it. The ice path. No mana for the Avalanche. So they're onto the tier 3 towers. You kind of ask yourself, how do Liquid stop this?
Thankfully for them, they just got Bacter protection off. There was no creeps in the base, so they're basically going to die a little slower, but even just diving again and again.
Hook, not going to land this time. Boxy riding with the charge. The coil was expended. They just have to back off to the fountain, buy a bit more time. Zai's up now, but again, he doesn't have the black hole available. You need Matumba here to try and help defend this. Entity, they understand the weaknesses. They'll keep going, but it seems like that'll be enough as Boxy, he's in onto Stormer. They'll try to chain him up, but it will not land. Storm, he's going to be just fine to orb away. Instead, it's back in onto Pure. They want the big one. Here comes Matumba onto the putt with the Dismember. Cancelled off by Boxy with a great charge out. Pure dropping way too low. In fact, it's insane that goes down first, but they've got the punch down. They've got Fishman as well. No buyback available for Pure. Can they capitalize? Liquid, they'll keep going. Katomi's down. Zai, has he found Toby? He has. He's got the Broodmother in the tree line. It's going to be a 4th down for the side of Entity. The only survivor's going to be Stormer, and there's 90 seconds without the pudge.
A massive win. And it looked really bad for Liquid as well, almost to the point where they might have lost Rasmus. But as you said, Gunnar, backdoor was still there. They managed to stall Boxy's little play charging forward, buying enough time for them to even find this opportunity.
Here's the scary part. How long will it take for Roche to spawn? If it's a fast Roche, they'll just get it for free, and then the game will be in Liquid's hands. So a minute, at least Entity has the chance to all respawn and be able to fight again, but as we watch the replay.
Yeah, it's a crazy replay. And they stuck around a bit too long maybe, and it's just Boxy, right? He's just constantly charging through these team fights. We saw a great dismember on Matamba, but it just didn't matter because Boxy's always ready with the charge. You'll see it here, I think. There it is, charge immediately. Just no chance to just hold on to the lifestealer. And you've got to argue, I mean, Boxy, he's doing so much work in these fights.
He really is. Again, even down to what he's trying to do on the map, stalling out the pushes, dragging out the creep waves from the tier 3s, providing so much time for Liquid to kind of regroup up. And Entity, they're not in a bad state. Maybe just kind of have to rebuild, regroup, save up for buybacks, or hold out for buybacks, especially on Pure. But that will eat into the Aegis or Roche timing here, as it is starting to tick down. Liquid has good control over the pit area. And this is the big one, right? This is the Roshan that kind of dictates what happens next.
Yeah, now it's been long enough, so they have Black Hole again on the side of Liquid. Liquid kind of has everything right now, and they don't really have any buybacks.
Ooh.
So they have 1 life on all of their heroes.
Look at the win probability right now. Look how close this game is. 50-50 right now between these two, I believe it is. It's kind of insane how close it is. A Stormer. Charge is there. They're going to move right in onto the Jakiro Matamba, trying to get the damage off the Dream Coil. Going to lock down 3, but they don't seem to mind. They'll keep going. Pure, he's waiting for a hook opportunity, but can't quite find one. Matamba, he'll pop the BKB. Pure, trying to move in. Hook, not there. Boxy, just ready with the chance, just in case. It's Kataomi now with the toss back, trying to gift the hook over to his Pudge. Matamba, still running with that rage available. He just wants to get out, go for a reset once again. They got the buyback out of the Jakiro, and that's all they seemingly wanted.
Yeah, but they used the Black Hole there from Zaya. It's not going to be available. Black Hole BKB pop didn't catch anyone out. Entity might have that opening for Roshan if they decide to play their cards right here.
Yeah, their Roche isn't that great. They don't really have like a carry, right? That's going to take the Roche. Even the Brute doesn't have the build to just kill Roche on his own. So they're probably going to look to take a fight and play off of the fear that Liquid thinks they might Roche. They're going to try to play off of making them force a scan, and maybe they think they're in Roche. And it's all about the kills now for Entity, whereas Liquid just wants to stall it out and play for the Black Hole.
Here we go. Roshan gets started. Entity, they've got first dibs. Seems like Liquid nowhere near the Roshan pit, and perhaps without that Black Hole up, they don't want to try and force the fight. Just have to let this one go. Entity will happily take it away. Liquid, they'll have to sit back and just watch. Shards up, Aegis up. Happy days for Entity. Still, this game is just too close.
Has been killed.
It is very scary, both teams. I don't think any team is very favored right now. It's only 4,000 gold, it's 40 minutes in the game. The biggest thing is probably going to be buybacks and location of the fight. So Matu's about to hit his buyback. He'll probably choose to save it. Pure is not going to buyback for 2 minutes, but thankfully he has the Aegis. And there's very limited buybacks right now. It's pretty much just Mickey and on this Mickey and Matu right now for Liquid.
Damn, that could be the breaking point, right? Like, we saw how scary it was when Pure dived back as well. It gave a big window for Liquid that they just didn't manage to fully capitalize on. Gonna have to just wait for that reset on the Black Hole, as mentioned. And it's not too far off, half a minute away. Issue is, with 2 lives in Pure, that can make things a little bit tougher. We'll see if they find that opening. If you are on Entity, like you mentioned, that second rush being the big one, what conditions do they have to meet to re-enter that high ground once more?
Again, their objective taking is not the best. They're able to force Roche because they know Liquid's just not going to walk up. And again, I feel like they force the Roche more of a come fight us. And when they know they can tell Liquid is just, all right, it's your Roche, we give up, take it. But they're not really going to do that for the base. Enigma's going to be able to defend. Ember's going to chain Slight. So it's kind of hard for them to ever actually force to end the game. It's always just about the kills. It's always just about finding them, getting that 1 kill. Once you get the 1 kill, then you can go the high ground. But until then, it's a lot of walking around and trying to secure the map.
It certainly became a lot easier to find that 1 kill. Stormstormer, he's got the ninja gear now, so just having the smoke on himself throughout this game, just able to find those pickups if they are hanging around. We'll have a look around the bot lane, but won't be able to find one. In the meantime, Boxy, he's finally got that Axe up on the Spirit Breaker. See what that can get done here for the team. And obviously, that we've seen how effective these charges have been throughout these engagements. Suddenly, Boxy, he's going to have a very, very low cooldown stun just constantly throughout these fights. Just seems so important Liquid trying to utilize this off the Spirit Breaker.
Also, you can use it on the Pudge while BKB'd without having to find a different target in the fight. So a lot easier time of choosing where to charge and how to fight. I think Entity might actually just wait for the punch buyback. It's up in 400 gold, 20 seconds, and then at least they have a fail-safe. They lose the fight terribly.
Boxy invested up. They're going to find the punch. There's no buyback available, but they've got the Aegis. That's the first life gone. Can they find a second, though? There's the black hole available with the BKB holding down Pure onto the high ground, though. Pure, he's still going to drop. That's what they wanted. Liquid, they'll keep moving forward. They'll find Toby now. Fishman, he'll go down to Mickey, who does take him out. Toby, can he get away? He's stuck on the low ground. He's gone. Oh, Liquid, they might be doing something special here. Kataomi, he'll try to run, but Boxy will lock him down once again. Fuel Scepter up. It's not going to matter, though. They'll chain him down. Can they get the team wipe? Stormstormer trying to escape. In fact, they don't even want it. They want to go for objectives now. Into the mid-tier 2 tower they go. There's not many buybacks available.
Oh man, it looks so difficult, but they just focus all in on Pure, managed to work out the 2 lives. I thought it might be a really difficult fight. You have the level 25 on Stormstormer from a while ago. BKB piercing, Dream Coil didn't even come out. The Ags usage of Boxy just insane in the middle of these fights.
I got really scared for Liquid. The black hole pulls Pure to the high ground. Matu's stuck in the low ground. I thought he might not die, but thankfully he goes down, and the fight just kind of breaks apart from there.
Here we go, they're onto the high ground now. Keep in mind, Mickey's got that side device up, so even more control now on the Ember. Things are looking so tough for Entity in this game number 3. Liquid suddenly so close to pulling off the victory they've been looking for. They're onto the top lane. 1 racks up. Entity, how do they defend this? It's so tough. They're saving their buybacks. They'll use the glyph instead. They'll buy a bit more time. Stormstormer just preparing to initiate. They'll try onto Matumba, but it's a bit of poking and prodding for now. Coil committed as well. Maybe a little bit early, but Kataomi could think about the toss back. Rage is there, however. Matumba, he's going to be just fine. It seems like they're going to go back and address the bottom lane instead, as it is pushing in at the moment.
Yeah, the Coil's not too long of a cooldown. They don't feel bad, and at least they force him away, right? They lose one side of racks. It's not the worst. They don't force any buybacks, and now the game slightly in Liquid's favor. Entity still, you know, they can take these fights. They can still destroy the life stealer, but now it's scary. You know that your Pudge is killable. Every time you know you're this really tanky hero and he feels vulnerable, you just lose so much of just mental pressure that you have on the enemy team.
Sania, be okay to TP out. Liquid back onto their high ground. 1 racks up. It's still anyone's game. I mean, it's a 6k net worth advantage, 34 to 27, 45 minutes in, but it really just feels like anyone can pull off this victory. Just one decent team fight. No buybacks available, and suddenly you're in trouble.
I think the one thing that makes this difficult for Stormstormer now, you've got the full Hex up on Mika. He can just come in, get that instant control the team needs. They're not under as much pressure for Zai to actually land that black hole onto the puck. As we've seen before, you land it on Pure, it's a worthwhile target as well. And Mika can just do what he needs to do in this game. Maybe only slot left is that Orc Corrosion to swap out, otherwise you're starting to get fully slotted up here. Boxy, he's the real menace. Yasha up, Woody Axe, and he charges like a madman, the cooldown so low. They have to watch that combination. At this point, Matumba is more than happy to just stick around with Boxy now.
I think Mickey has done an amazing job this game. He had a really rough early game. He goes for BKB, and he struggles to get there, but now after BKB, he goes for the Kaya Sanj, he goes to Ags, and he's just done so much in these late game fights. Just this itemization just kind of is enabling them to take these fights later in the game. Especially the Sheep, I think is going to just wreak havoc in the fights.
Here we go. Triangle, Boxy just going to go ahead and adjust the brief wave. Stormstormer, oh, that's a big one. Tex is out, they'll lock him down, but do they have any follow-up? They do not. Not for now. That device just so scary for the puck to have to play against. Sure, you've got the A on this, but even with that, once it's down, it's... Oh boy, it's just too frightening here for Stormstormers. They will show mid lane. Boxy going to charge right in onto the Jakira Matumba. No fear in the world, but Pure, he has the shards up. He'll eat away.
Yeah, disc now popped though. That's Stormstormer's one saving grace in the fights.
Can they keep going? Seems like they might. Liquid hanging around, but they don't have the vision. They'll head back. At least for now.
Yeah, they managed to bait out the Dream Coil once more from Stormstormer.
They want to try and go. Hook is there from Pure. Try to relocate this Broodmother, but they've got the Malefice. Toby's in big trouble, but there's the Eat again. Out. Black Hole is there from Zai. He found the punch. Pure, he's in so much trouble. And Boxy with the charge again. going to find the pause one punch. Buyback is there immediately. Entity, they need to be so careful. This game, it's falling out of their hands. Liquid, they'll find another. Toby is down, but buyback immediate as now they jump in. Dismember is there, but no, the charge. Boxy, he hasn't had enough yet. Matumba onto Pure. It might be a tieback, it will be. They've got the punch down. Entity, the chains out. Mickey, he'll lock down a couple more as Zai. Gonna move in. They've got one down. They've got Mickey down, but they need Matumba. He's the big target. Mickey, who'll run it back forward. Entity, they are not giving up yet. They want to keep fighting this one out. Buybacks have been expended though, and that'll mean Liquid are the ones that need to try and find the fighters. There is a charge. Kataomi, he was the target, but they do cancel. So Pure's down with that buyback for basically a minute and a half right now. Can Liquid capitalize?
They still have the black hole too. He has a refresher, he popped the refresher, has a second one ready, and there's no buyback for the Pudge. Like we said, he just died back from the fight. The buybacks for Liquid didn't feel amazing. The Ember and the Spirit Breaker are both forced to kind of buy back, so now Entity, you know, they can look at this as a win condition, but as of now, it's looking really scary.
Yeah, they can just aim for the high ground, threaten with that black hole. And if anything comes up, if they don't feel safe, there's always the Roshan in 20 seconds as well. Not the longest respawn to wait for left. That's Matu.
Gonna go in, tier 3 tower, maybe under siege. Boxy will get stopped by the ice path. And they go though, the tier 3 more important is no, never mind. They want Fishman with the toss back. Mickey, he just fought back. Charge again, Boxy, gonna buy a bit of space. Now the black hole, Zai, he'll hold down a couple. They've got the puck, Stormer, so much trouble, he's gonna go down. But he does have buyback. In we go again. This will be the final lives here for the side of Entity. Liquid, they'll find a secondary Rax. Do they want to go for a third right here, right now? They've got 30 seconds without the punch.
It's so hard. It feels so hard to defend. Matu just does way too much damage. He has the full Abyssal finish now, too. They can't kill him. He kills them by himself, and what does Entity do versus him?
Yeah, they still have a little bit of a window to go Roshan if they want to, although respawn is coming out on Pure, but they have to repair these lanes. Not going to have an easy path outside for Entity to kind of contest, and they're going for it. Matu straight into Roshan, free axe along with a cheese now on Rosh number 3.
And a double damage.
And a double damage every single time there, Mike.
Every single time. Gaben's Blessing is what we call it. Toby, he's going to move in. Roshan in trouble. Can he do something about it? He can try to sneak his way in with the ice path. They need this Aegis their way. Kataomi jumps in. Matumba! He does outclick them. His hands are way too fast. Kataomi in danger. Yule's up, trying to run. Will force up to the high ground, but the chase is there. Mickey, not done. Bouncing all across the map. The Tiny is still alive. Pure trying to save the day, but now he's the one in danger. He hasn't got buyback. He needs to run. The BKB about to wear off Boxy. He's going to hold him down. This could be it. They don't have their pos one punch. Toby in danger. Meanwhile, Mickey being controlled up here by the puck, by the Jakira, but he's just man fighting onto the Jack.
Insane.
Meanwhile, Toby on the high ground in so much danger with the Crystal Nova. Fishman, he's also going to go down up north. They take him out. The only survivors are Toby and Stormer, and they've got to try desperately to try and save this situation. But in goes the chase onto the top racks once again. There's Mega Creeps available very soon if Liquid can find it. They've got their hands up. They're feeling confident. Boxy, he's going to find the puck, but Stormer is okay to back off.
Man, it's just coming all together now for Liquid. They take that opportunity in the Roche.
My heart.
The snatch of Matu, giving them all the room they need to end this game. If that goes to Pure, it could end differently. Divine Rapier for Matu.
Oh, here we
Doesn't
go.
feel necessary, but it'll just reach the end of the game a lot faster.
They want to put a little in this game right here, right now. Tier 4 towers under siege, hardly any buybacks. They've got to try and fight this one Entity. It's just such a tough ask, such a hard defense. Liquid, men's of business. They'll keep going for the tier 4s onto the Ancient with the Divine Rapier. There's no way to stop them. Liquid, they'll be proceeding through. The GG's call. The GG is called. What a series we have witnessed here between these two. Entity, they put on such a performance, but Liquid, the comeback in game 3, I don't know how they do it, but they make it happen.
Yeah, they play so well in that game 3 as well, right? Like, there were